I enjoy Mondays because of this. Hello. Oh, look at yeah,
How
a little
are
chit chat.
you? We were talking off camera and
We
we
do.
were caught, but it was good. We were saying how much we enjoyed Mondays because we love this call. I do too. You would think we would get sick of talking about our job week after week, and every single time we do, I want to join. So
Yeah, it's interesting because I always say to you, I mean, you always joke because as you're saying the stuff, you're like Janine's heard this a million times. But you do have, I mean, the way that you explain it is there's always something new that pops into my brain about how wonderful what we do for a living is really for every woman to try and every man to try. It's just
absolutely.
amazing to me how when you really believe that in your heart and you know you're helping people, this is not a job every Monday night. I enjoy this. It's like we're having fun chit-chatting. And I do see some people are hopping on. Mary Grace, do you see?
Hi,
Hello,
everybody.
everybody. Oh my goodness. Hi. Hello, hello. We're
So
not going to be able to answer all of you, but hello, hello.
if you were invited here tonight or if you're catching us by accident, either way, welcome. We're so absolutely delighted to have you. I am Executive Company Vice President, Mary Grace Lewandowski. This is Senior Division, Janine Volano George. I'm coming to you from St. Louis. She is in Allentown, Pennsylvania. And week after week, we get on here and stream it. So, in the hopes that those who are invited or those who caught us by a happy accident are going to maybe have their ear perk up a little bit and go, maybe that's something I should try because that's exactly what happened to me. So, Janine, you give us the rundown and tell us what you're going to do, and then I'll do it with you.
I absolutely love the thank you. I love the power you give me. Absolutely love that. I love the term happy accident because really with the way that we're able to stream live in multiple places, because thank you, technology, we're not only streaming in our jewelry jamboree, which is so awesome. We're streaming in our studio for anybody that was added to the studio this week or last week and couldn't catch the live. We're streaming on YouTube for the world to see. I mean, we're kind of streaming everywhere. So it's
We
really
get around.
exciting to me. Yeah, it could be like, yeah, we get around. So what we're going to do tonight, really quickly. Hello, everyone. Oh my goodness, if you could drop who invited you tonight, if you could do that for me, and what part of the what part of the country are you
Yes, the
watching from?
world. It makes me feel so. I was
Worldly.
going to say metropolitan, but that's just in the world. Global.
That's a very good term right now. So I have a series of 4 questions that I like to ask our fearless leader and, company vice president, executive company vice president. I like to ask her this every single week. And we've broken it down to these 4 questions that we think most people who are looking at the opportunity of direct sales or are willing to listen about the opportunity of direct sales, really, these are the 4 highlights. We're kind of giving you the highlights of what we do for a living. And then what we ask you to do is take the information and share it with a friend,
Yep.
basically. So this might be something that you really enjoy, or this could be something that, your friend at your coworker, your neighbor, somebody told you recently that they need to get a second job. And this could be the perfect thing to weave into their everyday busy schedule. So we're going to answer these questions. You're welcome to drop questions in the chat. And don't forget, this is called a free jewelry call. So what will happen is after this is done streaming, we will have a link in our studio. It's already there, but a link to a questionnaire that we ask you to fill out. And once you fill that out, Mary Grace in 24 hours will pick a winner. And then she will look on your questionnaire to see what type of jewelry you love and give you a piece curated to your personal tastes. So you're not just
Yes.
going to get something that you may not enjoy, because that does happen with jewelry. Jewelry is a very personal purchase. Some people love
Yeah.
it, some people don't. So I'm going to go ahead and get started, Mary Grace, and I'm going to ask you to explain to these fine people. Welcome, everybody. Hello to these fine people. Why direct sales? Talk to me about why direct sales.
Yeah, I've been doing this for so many years, 20 something years. And yet I went to my college reunion last weekend
You did.
and I had a couple of people say things like, is that one of those pyramid schemes? So I am so delighted to answer this question because if there's any of you out there that feel like that, I thought, when I was younger and less secure and maybe hadn't tried it yet, I would have taken a comment like that to heart. And you guys, first you need to know what direct sales is because there is such a misunderstanding that it's like multi-level marketing, or that like you try to get your friends and family to sign up and buy things over and over again. And direct sales simply means direct to consumer. That's all it means. It was the original sales model when the guys used to go on their little coaches door to door and sell pots and pans to the prairie people. It really is. If before all of these intermediaries, what am I trying to say? Intermediaries, people in the middle, middlemen
Intermediaries?
started to get in on the act. So, and direct to consumer is very popular in today's world. Because yes, we do a lot online. People shop a lot online, but they're missing that personal connection. But in the same way, they don't necessarily want to go trudge through a mall or whatever and go look for what they need to find. So having like people like us that serve as the middleman, that serve as the personal face of something, it's a really popular way to shop. And it also happens to be a popular way to work. So one of my favorite stories about direct sales comes back to David Bach, BACH, who wrote The Automatic Millionaire. I love this story so much because regardless of why you're looking to make some extra income, there's going to be some objections as to why you couldn't take on a second gig. And I feel like David Bach answered that as a professional who wrote a multi-million-dollar bestseller called The Automatic Millionaire. Yeah. And I was listening to him, this will tell my age, of course, on a cassette tape once. And he was talking about how he wanted to talk about this program whereby investing $300 to $500 a month, how an everyday type of person like you and me could become a millionaire. Not people that were trust fund babies or anything, but everyday working people. And he said he was so excited to present this plan to individuals who came into his office. But he very quickly, these were his words, he very quickly realized there was a way bigger problem. And he realized that, 20 something years ago, people didn't have $300 to $500 a month to invest. In today's world, I think fair to say $500 to $700 would be a good translation. But he said it wasn't that they were living paycheck to paycheck. It's that they were living beyond paycheck to paycheck. They already were in significant amount of debt. And if they had extra money, it was going to either go to pay down that debt, or it's going to be saved for an emergency, or very reluctantly and feeling like they were cheaters, they were going to maybe take a special vacation or something. Yeah. And he said, my mission needs to be to help the average person be able to make extra money. And as he began to problem solve with people or attempted to problem solve, he had very quickly realized that it was going to be significant changes in their life should they need to make more money. Maybe changing job, going back to school, get a different degree, having a stay-at-home mom, go back to work, things like that. And this is the way he says it too. And then I discovered direct sales. And he said, I thought like, oh my gosh, this is it. This is it. Because in direct sales, you're working when you can work. So regardless of what the arguments were about people's schedules, we know our own schedules and we know when we could fit something in. You decide how much you want to make. Maybe you want to make a little, maybe you want to make a lot. And regardless of how much you decide you need to make, you still can control that. You can control when and where you're going to go to work, and you can control when you need to step back and when you need to pick it up. So that's my favorite direct sales story. And it has very much worked that way in my life. And I know it's worked that way in your life too, Janine. Like I started for an extra $100 a week. Yeah. I didn't expect to someday be making thousands in a week, but the world started to open up to me more as I learned more about it.
Yeah, paychecks with commas are fun every week.
Yeah, they certainly are.
They certainly are. Okay, so now that you explained that, and I appreciate that, and it's funny how you said you went to your reunion, because I know you did, from college, and and still after all this time and all the time you've been doing this, you have people that say that. It's mind blowing. It really is.
Mind blowing.
We know how to answer it now. They do too. Why jewelry, Mary Grace? What is it about jewelry?
Yeah. So when you get into direct sales, there's different products that you can represent. And I was somebody who really used to think, well, who would sell jewelry? I wasn't a huge jewelry wearer for whatever reason. And I just didn't get it. And yet if you Google, I'm thinking about direct sales or something, one of the questions, like, when they do like, ask yourself these questions. One that they would ask is like, or advise, is that you choose a product that you love, which is absolutely important because it at the end of the day, it's your product, right? And it shines through when you love it. But you learn to love something that that makes you such a nice income, that's for sure. But what I think is more important is to choose a product that the most other people love, right? So like I might love alpacas, but not that many people in the world love alpacas, So it's way smarter to sell something that other people love. So this takes me back to like the Park Lane origin story when we're a family owned company, which I'm very proud of. It's great to work for an family owned company. But way back when in 1955, when the parent, Shirley and Arthur, decided to open a company, they had it all worked out what model they wanted to use. They loved the direct sales model. They loved the idea of using other people's living rooms as their showroom. They loved the idea of being able to help other people be successful, not just themselves. They weren't very clear on what product they should sell. They might have even been arguing amongst each other about it. So they did this really smart thing and they hired consulting companies, and they hired 3 of them, and they didn't tell each other they were hiring them, just didn't want any kind of prejudice or overlap. And when the 3 consultants came in for their meeting, they said, here's what we want you to do. We want you to go out into the world, do your research, choose a product that you think we should represent here. And I love this part as an ex-teacher, and be ready to defend your answers. So off they go into the world. And they said when the 3 guys came back, all different times, but across the board, jewelry was number 1. And all of their other choices varied, but it was jewelry across the board number 1. And that took the Levine family aback, because that wasn't what they were expecting. They thought it was a home product or something. And then they go, okay, defend your answers. And this is the reason why jewelry is the right place to be. Okay. And now I've lived it. So it's definitely the right place to be. I wouldn't lie to you. The market. I mean, the market is absolutely never ending, because everybody wears some kind of jewelry, every gender, every size, every type of person in the whole world wears jewelry. It withstands the test of time. It's been around since many, many years BC, all the way up till now, forecasted to go up something like 10 times in the next 10 years. Extremely popular product. One of the only products that goes up in sales during economic hard times. Now, I had always heard that, read that, preached that, but now I lived that through quarantine and COVID. Okay. Sure. We absolutely did. We like doubled our sales. From a perspective of somebody who's selling it, people wear our product. Therefore, we got a lot more recommendations, because our product is out there walking around in the world. It's very inexpensive to ship and store. My last product that I did, my husband was ready to kick me out or something to get more room, because it was everywhere. And jewelry fits in something the size of your purse. If you choose to go out and show people jewelry, you can sling it over your shoulder and off you go. And from a company standpoint, again, something we especially live during COVID, we keep multi-million-dollar inventories in our Chicago warehouse. So we weren't waiting for barges to come in and things like that during COVID. So we were able to just keep going. And it's considered consumable, which is a big one to me, because people don't just, I have a piece of jewelry, I'm done. Jewelry is consumable. Fashion is consumable. So it changes with the trends. It changes with the seasons. It changes with your outfits. So it's something that is very alive and moving and changing all the time, so that people can be on trend. So it is a brilliant place to be. Absolutely brilliant.
I love that. I love how you explain that. And I love the defend your answers. And now you have lived that, but you have lived that. I mean, that's the interesting thing we all have that have been here for a couple of years. Okay. So now we know what direct sales is and why jewelry is so important. So why don't you tell us why Park Lane Jewelry, when there's all those opportunities?
Yeah, because, it's like I said, people love jewelry. One of the things I don't know very many people except for us that only wear Park Lane jewelry either. One of the things I love about it is it complements with other jewelry. And I'm like, jewelry lovers love jewelry, But why Park Lane to represent? Okay, first of all, we're the largest direct sales jewelry company in the world, which gives us a lot of power. I absolutely love that. We're the only one, this is big to me, that is full service line. And what I mean by that, people, companies will start popping in your head probably when I say it, but many wonderful companies with great product, but they do predominantly silver or only Swarovski crystals or
Mhm.
mostly only pearls. You know what I'm saying? Or only
Right. Yeah.
even a certain type, like maybe only like real trendy jewelry, nothing traditional, or maybe only traditional jewelry. Okay. So my customers have even said it to me. What I love about Park Lane is no matter who I invite, there's something for everyone. So that's huge. Park Lane, like we are the only company that I am aware of, the only company, I think I have to say that with confidence, indirect sales that hires people at levels commensurate with their
Absolutely.
experience. Okay. So I never would have started all over after I had established myself as very talented in the direct sales arena, not just selling, but, helping other people and all that good stuff. Here at Park Lane, they brought me in at a pay level and a title that was commensurate with what I had before. So that's big because there's people out there, like if you guys know oh, I know someone who's really big in blah, blah, blah. And there's been some rumblings that they might go to all affiliate or blah, blah, blah. It's always good to be able to recommend them over to talk to us because we can save them, we can help them. So we have people that actually do huge spreadsheets and they're like, I'm going to go out, I'm going to do my research like those consultants, and I'm going to pick the one that makes the most sense. They always pick Park Lane when they're that strategic about it because we have the
Mhm.
richest programs. We have the richest customer sale, um, where it doesn't change. And when people hear our sale, buy two for regular, get four for half, they think that maybe that's what the hostess gets. It's so generous. Women love to repeat a sale. So how smart to have a sale that's not only generous, but would be easy for someone to hear it once and run out and tell all of our friends because we have it in our DNA to share a sale. We're the most generous hostess
Very much so.
program, which is not based on how much somebody buys or how much they sell, which I love that because I was a teacher. We didn't have any money. I always knew if I was going to have any kind of show, I wasn't going to get much if it was based on sales, but I still loved for people to come and have a good time. Well, at Park Lane, they can because it's based on number of orders, is based on how much the hostess gets for free. So it's such a non stressor. And then, of course, profit. We act like we're really big people and we never care about profit, but of course we care about profit. If we're looking for any kind of side gig, generally it's not just for the socialization and the fun, although those are big parts of it. It's usually for the money, right?
Right.
And we are the highest paid. We are the highest paid direct sellers. And truly in the industry, we have the best profit program with additional bonuses and we get paid weekly, which is unusual. And to the point where we actually forced, like when one gas station lowers its price, the one across the street has to lower its price.
The
People
same
have
thing.
been trying to keep up with us forever and they just can't. They just can't anymore. And then anything you guys could ever think of. Okay. So uh, things incentivize people. And we don't always know what's going to be an incentive to you. So we offer all of it. Do you love free jewelry? Like, are you sick of paying for your jewelry? Well, then become a rep so that you can get paid on the jewelry that you buy.
Yeah.
Also, so that you can be part of a program where each of us is entitled to earn up to $1,000 a month in free jewelry. Okay, very cool. Maybe you love to travel and you can't justify it in your current budget. Well, not only do you make money when you work for Park Lane, but we have 2 travel trips a year. And one is almost always European, and the other one is tropical. So things in the world that you never thought you would have the ability to see, you can see it here at Park Lane. Maybe you love to get paid every week. We get paid every week. That's a very expensive thing for a company to do, but they do it for us, which is wonderful.
Right.
Maybe you have done direct sales before or heard about it. And one of the things that makes you nervous is you think there's like minimums and you don't like to be fearful. Well, we don't deal with fear. We don't lead with fear. We lead with fun and like the carrot, not the stick. We don't have monthly quotas. I know you find that very hard to believe. Most people do. No monthly quotas. Okay. You can step away from your business for a couple months, come back and be right where you were before. So truly, because the Levine family lived it and it's family owned, they want it to truly be your own business where you can do with it what you need to do with it when you need to do that. with it. So I think I pretty much touched on everything. Probably not.
You touched on a lot. The fact of the matter is that the line about leading with a carrot, not a stick. It's
Yeah.
not, you're not going to be forced into anything, but it's a heck of a nice friends and family discount to start
Yes.
out. And once you discover what the business can do for you, you literally can take it to heights that you can't even believe. And it's
And
really
like
up
when
to
you
you.
can go and get a friends and family discount, and you like
Yeah,
everybody runs to the store that day.
yeah.
That's what becoming a rep is. People are
Mhm.
way overthink it. It's like become a rep, you know. Then when you
I think we all overthink things, but I think you broke
oh
that down really well.
absolutely.
So let me ask you this question. So now that you broke all that down, you're going to need to tell us now, everybody here is listening. Why is now a great time?
Well, what a segue, because I always say this. Well, a success principle is successful people don't overthink things.
Yeah.
Really, the way it was written in a book by John Maxwell was successful people lean in. So they're not. They don't do totally off the wall dumb things. They, if there's a lot of risk involved, they're not going to do it. But when they look at something like, say, this, and they go, here's the risk, here's the benefit, duh. But they don't do that thing that I almost did, but my husband set me straight, was going, what if I don't get any parties? What if nobody wants to buy anything? It's like, well, if you don't try this, nobody is going to do any party. No one is going to buy anything, and it isn't going to work. So we teach you as you go along. So
Right.
if you were feeling a little trepidatious, that is so normal. And I want you to be in the top 5% of people in the world who take a chance on something and are also very successful. That being said, there isn't a big chance that you're taking. Like, it's
Yeah.
not this huge investment. So we charge $99 right now.
Mhm.
This is the deal. For $99, you get to choose. This goes on through Wednesday. $700 in jewelry. Tell
Yeah.
me how that is in any way a risk, okay? So you get to choose $700 worth of jewelry for $99. It's your jewelry to do with as you wish. But that $99 also includes everything that you need to be successful for that first year.
Right.
And then people think like after that year, you have to renew your website for like another $100. Okay, so it's never prohibitive. The $99 can go on a credit card. You have a show with the person who invited you, and
Mhm.
you get paid on that show, even though she or he's going to do it. So by the time your credit card even comes due, you truly had a zero investment because you're going to be ahead. So a lot of advantages to it. And then just the time of year, we found working in fashion that whenever you're at the cusp of a new season, that's a really, really popular time. So Easter is on the horizon. People are getting ready to update their wardrobes or
Spring.
even transition. So maybe they're
Mhm.
still wearing sweater. Well, I don't have a sweater, but someone's still wearing a sweater. But now maybe they're going to go to a springier, lighter look as they transition into the next season. So that's always a really popular time. And we get a little spring capsule collection in the spring. Then followed by another new catalog, a couple months after that. So it's really a smart time to start.
I don't ever think there's ever a time that's not a good time, but
No.
I cannot imagine if you are somebody who loves jewelry, okay? And you are somebody who has some Park Lane in your collection. There's nobody that's going to turn down for $99
Yeah.
to get $700 in jewelry. That is the best discount and coupon you could ever get, in my opinion. And all we ask when you do that is to do a party with your stylist.
Yes.
That's it. One party. That's it.
Yes.
No one's going to ask you to do anything else. But if you want to do more, that's the greatest part about Park Lane to me, is that we
Yes.
work at the pace of the person. And
Yes. And
if
a
they want to
party,
do more, we've
just a
got it.
party in today's world, that used to mean like inviting bunches of people over your house, getting
Yeah, it's not
your
that
house
anymore.
clean, getting food. If you love that, sure. But 78% of our reps do strictly online.
Right.
And we have all of the tools to help you have a cut and paste business, basically. So online, in person, or a little bit of everything, dabbling in between. All of these are options here at Park Lane.
Yeah, it's awesome. Well, we've gone 24 minutes, but it's because we love to talk about this opportunity.
I hardly ever
Like,
talk.
yeah, right. But I do want to say, like, there is a questionnaire we need you to fill out for the free jewelry call. And, be honest with it when you fill it out. be honest with yourself, because if you're willing to just kind of dip your toe and try it, then let's do that. Let's talk to your stylist and do that. Do they have 24 hours, Mary Grace, to fill that out?
They
You
do
put your
24
name.
hours.
Okay.
Somebody's going to win, whether you're interested or not. Be sure to fill out the form completely. And
Right.
you have a lot to gain and nothing to lose. I
Right.
certainly hope that I get to know you all better because we're also a very fun and uplifting place to be. So thanks so much for tuning in today, Janine. As usual, thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. You have to X us out, Mary Grace. Sometimes I have to help her along.
Oh my God, are we still on camera?